This verdict actually is a victory for Jamaica. It's a victory for law enforcement and the entire criminal justice system and the JCF. It also validates our approach in looking at criminal investigation and do our investigation around a criminal organization. We know that there were a lot of naysayers, there are a lot of skeptics about the approach, but I think this has validated our approach. We got the law from 2014, and there were different views, conflicting views, and we decided ultimately to test this about 2017, somewhere about there. And we have had, setbacks, hiccups, but we continue to pursue, and this is the end result. There are a lot of work still to be done. There are areas that we need to look at. We have to review, assess, and then we look at our approach onward. But I think this really inspires some level of confidence in what we do. This is just a tip in the iceberg. There is several other, there's a lot of work to be done. As you are aware, or the public might be aware, once you infiltrate a gang, once you disrupt a gang, you're going to find several splinters, and there are splinters and there are people who are reasserting themselves, and we have an obligation to ensure that we reduce the impact of those individuals, and we will continue to pursue the criminals, whoever they are. Whether you're a gang member or whether you're a criminal, we will continue to pursue. That's our calling. That's what we sign up for.
Welcome back to MyView TV, the people's platform, the home of undiluted news, reviews, updates, and your daily dose of entertainment. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, leave us a comment, like, share, and subscribe.
I don't bring nobody forward in your cheer for me. Everything what you see up my natural talent. Let me tell you something. You see, when you know what to please the audience with, it's simple, man.
Multiple verdicts were announced in court by the Chief Justice, Brian Sykes, during his summation of the Clansman gang trial. The most anticipated being that of gang leader Andre Blackman Bryan.
Innuendo, another, a pause. Then Chief Justice Brian Sykes announced the verdict. Andre Blackman Bryan guilty on count 1 of the indictment, being the leader of the notorious One Don Clansman gang. Sykes has been hinting at this verdict for quite some time. While analyzing other counts and witness testimonies, the Chief Justice labeled Blackman as a micromanager as it relates to his detail to the planning and organization of murders. Blackman was again slapped with a guilty verdict in relation to count 19, knowingly facilitating the commission of the 2018 murder of an unknown person. His henchman Ted Prince was also found guilty on this charge. In going through the witness's testimony of overhearing a conversation between Prince and Blackman, Sykes reminds the court of Blackman saying, quote, "Them boy a ramp with my badness. I bet me kill one of them." End quote. To which Prince said, quote, "Ya fi me teacher, what me fi do?" End quote. Blackman responded, quote, "Nyam the food." End quote. An instruction to carry out the plan to kill the man in question. Sykes says this qualifies as an agreement to murder and reveals the hierarchy in the organization because the gun was loaded, but Prince did not fire until he received Blackman's permission and approval. Meanwhile, it was a good day in court for Kevon Green, who was found not guilty on his final remaining charge, count 2, being a member of a criminal organization. Sykes rules that the prosecution does not have enough evidence to support their claims, and therefore Green is now a free man. Evidence did stick against accused member Tomrick Taylor, who heard a guilty verdict in relation to count 2, being a member of a criminal organization, while Pete Miller was found not guilty on similar charges. The Chief Justice reminds the court that Miller was in police custody on nights. The witness says he was at gang meetings and incriminating locations. A smiling Khalifa Williams was also ordered free, as Sykes declared him not guilty on count 2, being a member of a criminal organization. The 22 remaining accused members will know their fate in relation to count 2, the final remaining count, when court resumes on Wednesday. 4 different counts were laid against Kevon Green at the start of the Clansman gang trial. They have all officially fallen at his feet, with the most recent count 2 being a member of a criminal organization. Chief Justice Brian Sykes announced the verdict on Tuesday, and though Green has been freed, he leaves his brother, gang leader Andre Blackman Bryan, in a less fortunate situation. His attorney describes the situation as bittersweet.
We were able to get a not guilty verdict today for Mr. Green, and we are very satisfied with the outcome. It's been a long journey. However, the evidence just was not there against my client, and that's how we ended up with the not guilty verdict here today. We are satisfied. I do imagine it is a bit of a bittersweet moment. However, we're still grateful. We're still grateful for the verdict that was handed out today.
Meanwhile, attorney at law representing Pete Miller expresses similar sentiments towards the verdict handed down to her client.
Mr. Miller was found not guilty for the offense, and he was very happy about the outcome of the matter against him. I appreciate the verdict because we worked hard to put forward this case, so we're very pleased with that. As it relates to Mr. Miller, the mood is one of being happy and grateful for this pronouncement today of not guilty.
Miller, who has been in custody since 2018, now walks a free man, though he also leaves behind his brother, Marco Miller, at the mercy of the court, still awaiting his verdict.
To my knowledge, he has no other matter. So as it stands, he should be a free man today. Leaving a brother behind, I can only say that it must be an emotional situation, but I have not had words with him as it relates to that aspect. But leaving a brother behind, having received that verdict, must be a bittersweet moment.
Miller previously testified that his father was killed by members of the Clansman gang, so he would never join a gang that affected his own family. He also refuted the witnesses' allegations of being a don for the Waterloo community in Spanish Town.